So it's been a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? Um, Basically, like, what, a week? More or less a week, yeah. Well, 5 days since I've seen you guys. I was gonna stream the solar eclipse, but I was with friends, and you know my pyramid thing, and I'd rather not, dox him. No, I'm just being considerate. But anyways, actually, he's probably streaming right now. I could probably go bully him if I wanted to. Um, Is he streaming? Oh, he might have just gotten off. Never mind. All right. Anyways, but yeah, I was with a friend in his backyard, and we were just watching the eclipse happen. It was kind of wild. I enjoyed it. But yeah, 1,000 miles and change of driving. It was quite an experience. I enjoyed it. A lot of money in tolls, a lot of money in gas, but I mean, I got to hang out with a few friends. That was nice. But man, do I have quite a few stories to tell you guys about. I I remember I was climbing up the Allegheny Mountains. I was driving up the Allegheny Mountains on Route 30 in Pennsylvania, just west of Bedford, just east of Somerset. And once you climb that mountain ridge, it was so cold up at the top of the mountain ridge that it was actually snowing up there. Um there was actual snow in early April. It felt kind of out of place. It felt like I was transported back into January for, 10 miles of driving. It felt like I was in a winter wonderland. And I actually posted a video on Discord about it. But yeah, hi everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you all again. It was a very weird experience doing that, and then of course I stopped by to see some family in Pittsburgh. I stopped there for a little bit. And then the interesting part started happening. Once I got into Ohio, my check engine light came on. And that was the oh shit moment. Now, thankfully, I was right off of 480. Now, if anybody ever lives near Cleveland, 480. Yeah. No, that's what I'm thinking, Ian. There's definitely probably heat damage to something, which worries me, but hopefully it's not transmission. Because I was fearing it was transmission. Yeah, of course it was fucking Ohio. So I just entered Cuyahoga County. I was on I-480 heading northwest, and all of a sudden, I hear a big beep from my car. Big red triangle shows up on my instrument cluster. Big check engine light appears, and then on my screen, because the Prius has a little screen on it, it says problem. And I immediately start panicking. So I immediately get off on the next exit in a city called Bedford, Ohio. I don't know if anybody lives near Cleveland, but if you know Cleveland, you probably know where I'm talking about. But I got off on a place called Bedford, Ohio, and I just started looking at mechanics on my phone, like just opening up Apple Maps and looking up mechanic. And I just started calling places, until one picked up and said, like, yeah, I'll check your engine light. So I go to that one. Really nice Palestinian guy. Quickly checks my light. It's very swift about it. He says it's the O2 sensor, which I just had replaced. I was like, okay, maybe the O2 sensor was just a dud. Who knows? And then I had him check the underside. I recently had a catalytic converter shield put on. He was like, yeah, no, I can't replace the O2 sensor. I can't replace the O2 sensor without dismantling this. So I was just like, okay, well, it's just an O2 sensor. It won't affect the performance of the car anyway. So I just left and drove. I paid him like $40 for the diagnosis of the engine light, and I just went on. I went to a friend's house in the Toledo region, which is all the way west, like northwest Ohio. But I stopped at a Swenson's because Swenson's is fucking amazing. If anybody's ever been to Northeast Ohio, you need to go to a Swenson's. They're basically Sonic, but better in almost every way possible. Like, you thought Sonic was alright? No. No, buddy. Swenson's actually makes good food. Sonic has good shakes, awful food. Swenson's has amazing food, amazing shakes, and and the service is so much better. I just love Swenson's. I go there every time I pass by there. Important question, how is Culver's? Culver's is pretty good too. Expensive as fuck though. I genuinely only went there because I haven't been there in 16 months. Otherwise, I would never go to a Culver's if it was there regularly. Because I could just go to Chick-fil-A and get a $12 meal instead of a $16 one. Like, dude, Swenson's was cheaper than Chick-fil-A, for God's sake. I think I paid like $11 for my meal with a shake. Swenson's is good, cheap, quality food. Highly recommend if anybody ever goes in the area and wants to try out a American fast food chain, try out Swenson's. You'll enjoy it. But so after I hit that up, headed west, or you could go to Popeyes and get better chicken. Wrong. Fake news. Fake news. Ban this kid. No. But I decided to take 480 and 90 instead of just keep on 80 because it would be cheaper toll road wise, because 80 so 76 is a toll road from the Pennsylvania border to a certain point where it meets up with 80, and then it just intersects, and then 76 just heads west towards Akron, and then 80 heads northwest towards Cleveland. So I took 80 towards Cleveland, and then a route splits off called 480, which is a spur of 80, and I just took that just to get off the toll road so I didn't have to pay for tolls. And then I eventually went up to 90, even though my engine light came on. I still eventually went up to 90 and just headed west on 90. And because 90 is not a toll road, it's economically cheaper for me to just take the inward route towards Cleveland rather than the bypass route, which costs more money. And it only took like an extra 10-15 minutes, notwithstanding, having an all of a sudden warning light come up on your car. So I just did that instead. It was economically cheaper. The more you can avoid the toll roads, the better. In fact, to anybody that ends up planning to go westward from like Pennsylvania or Maryland, Route 30 and Route 422 are both really useful. I say this because I'm well seasoned. I have family up in Pittsburgh. I kind of know how to bypass the toll roads quite a bit. I just took 30 heading west, and then I took 422 heading back east. You take 422 basically the whole way from Youngstown to Altoona, and then you just take 99 down to 30 in Everett. Or is it Everett or is it Bedford? No, it's Bedford. Once you hit Bedford, Pennsylvania, you take 30 east, and then you end up in Breezewood, which if anybody doesn't know what Breezewood is, let me just show you what Breezewood looks like. Breezewood is like one of the, literally in so many fucking memes. If you haven't seen this image before, I'm going to be disappointed in you. But I've quite literally been to this place dozens, if not hundreds of times. Here, let me just get a zoom in on that. And then let me show you this. Has anybody ever seen this image? Because if you have, that's Breezewood, Pennsylvania. And this road right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this road right here that lays flat and parallel, that's I-70. And I-70 goes up and around, and then it takes a toll, and then it takes a road off here, and then it heads to a toll plaza onto 76. It's actually reverse concurrency here for a little bit. But most people, 70 IQ mouth breathers, they'll take the toll road, which is good if you're like a family or something. But if you're smart like me, you know that the toll roads charge you $4 more to get onto this exit rather than take 30 to Everett and Bedford. If you take the exit to Bedford, which is, I believe, Route 220 and Interstate 99, if you take that route, which is just 15 miles to the west on Route 30, you end up saving $4 in toll roads. $4 to go 15 miles. Just let that sink in. $4 to go 15 miles. That's a lot for a toll road. They upcharge the fuck out of the Breezewood exit. So instead, if I feel like I'm in a rush, I just take the toll roads once I hit 220 and 99. But But if I feel like an intellectual Chad, I just decide to take Route 30 the whole way until Latrobe, and then I take a side route that eventually just makes me head up north. I believe there's like Route 217, Route 982 to Route 366, and that eventually leads you to the northeastern part of Allegheny County, which is the county Pittsburgh's in, and that's where a lot of my family's located. I'm not going to get into any finer details than that, but there's an exit off Route 28 that allows you to go onto the turnpike again. And there's also a route called 910 that follows 76 for a little bit, so you actually don't even have to take the toll road then. You could just take 910 and avoid yet another toll road exit. So you could just do that too. Or you could just go really far north, take 79 and take 422 to head to Cleveland, which is a lot cheaper. See, that's another nice thing about Wisconsin that I dig at my dad for. No tolls in Wisconsin? Yeah. That's one problem of whenever I head north and west. Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania all have toll roads. Maryland, we have a few as well, but all I can think of, the only practical toll roads you can take, there's only one, and it's the Bay Bridge. And 5301 being a toll road is not a huge deal because it's only tolled, I believe, if you go eastbound on it. You go westbound on it, you're not tolled, but if you go eastbound, it's like $3. But I barely go that way anyway, just because it's, I don't have anything that goes on the Delmarva except my brother lives there, but that's just because my brother lives there at the time being. Oh, shit. So, that's funny. My dad just sent me an image, and I'll have to talk about this later. But, I get bridge tolls, but highway tolls for existing highways is too far. Oh, fast lanes in California? Dude, T-Lord, we have them too. Also, hi, Ryan. But yeah, we have express lanes. I know 495 for a fact has them. In the Virginia side, and they're planning to add them to the Maryland side, which is fucking cringe, and I hate it. Mid hated it mid. But no, on the Virginia side, basically all of it is express lanes, but that's also because Virginia is a tax hell. Do not move to Northern Virginia. It sucks there. Illinois has them going to Chicago. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. 480 in Cleveland has express lanes. 90 doesn't. I don't think 90 ever will, but that's because of how windy Interstate 90 is in Cleveland. I believe in Pennsylvania, Philly has a few of them. I know Pittsburgh, I believe, is trying to get them on 79 or 279, but don't quote me on that. I think 376 might also be getting them too. I'm seeing a lot of numbers, and if you don't understand, good for you. You don't know geography. If you do understand geography, good for you. Pat yourself on the back. I'm going to rant about this shit for the next, 10, 15 minutes. In Maryland, we have toll roads. We also have express lanes. 95, they just recently added express lanes in Baltimore for 95. While also ironically having a toll road called 895 that literally does the exact same fucking thing. Come on, guys. Really? And then there's 695, which has a toll road as well, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is now defunct as some idiot boat crashed into it. If that's a story that happened literally a month ago, for those that don't know. But yeah, so the FSK Bridge was a toll road, and then we have 2 tunnels in Baltimore as well that go under the harbor. And that's 895 and I-95. And 895 is basically a pure toll road. It is one of the few pure toll roads in Maryland, as well as a recently added one back in 2010 called the Maryland 200, which is basically a spur of 370, and that goes from 370 in Rockville all the way to, I believe, Laurel, the Laurel Savage area, which is, it goes all the way to Route 1 in that area, basically just north of where College Park is, for anybody that knows where UMD is located. That's all the toll roads we have, though. We don't have many, and frankly, no one uses 200 anyway, so no one really cares. If you use 200, you're one of those mentally insane people, or just have the money to waste it. Did you see anything idiotic on my trip? Oh, dude, plenty. Plenty of people weaving. I actually need to rip the SD card from my my dash cam and just find all the funny clips I took, because there are some goofballs. I also saw probably 100, maybe 200 really funny, unique license plates. Like, holy shit, dude, the license plates were amazing. Oh, Alex, you're in my chat. There was a license plate, a Virginia license plate while I was in Ohio, and it said RM, and then had, like, the seal of Virginia on it, and then it said -RF. Which is hilarious. Only nerds will get that joke. But the license plate was RMRF with a dash just in front of the second R, which was hilarious. If you don't know what RMRF means, just look it up, or if you're running Linux right now, do RM-R-F into your console and see what happens. Just kidding. Don't actually fucking do that. I'm dead serious. Do not do that. Yeah, it's a Linux thing. So basically, RMRF deletes everything. It's basically like deleting System32 on a Windows drive. It nukes the entire system entirely. My friend and I call those lanes to pay DLC for the highway. Real. I fucking hate express lanes. I feel like it's kind of classist that they even make them. Like, come on, guys. You're really gonna charge people to, like, $10 and you get to get home 30 minutes earlier. It's so fucking stupid. I hate it. They could use those lanes for just regular people, but instead they don't. Some two-brain silly idiot riding the shoulder to get around traffic. Oh, Ian. Oh, Ian, buddy. When I was driving home, after I got to Breezewood, there was Pennsylvania decided to close a lane on I-70 between Hancock, Maryland, and Breezewood, Pennsylvania. So I saw 3 bikers use the illegal U-turn, like, speed trap lane. You know, like the little speed trap area that the cop sits at, where they can just sit there and wait for people to speed trap. I decided, oh, these 3 motorcycles are using that as a U-turn. I might as well U-turn there too, because it was gridlock. And I was not going to sit in gridlock for 2 hours when I could just use a side road and skip that gridlock in 10 minutes. So I did exactly that, and I was looking at all these trucks and all these trailers and all these cars just sit there, moving like maybe 3 to 5 miles an hour. Meanwhile, I'm going 50 right past them. It was hilarious. It was definitely a feel-good moment, but it was also definitely a 200 IQ moment. Even though a lot of people are like, no, you shouldn't use the illegal U-turns. Haha, no one enforces that. Try me. Riding a shoulder to get around traffic, only for 1 minute later, my phone navigation says speed check report ahead, a billboard for a State Farm that was posted upside down. You had one job. Had the marathon in the middle of nowhere and the parking lot was in gridlock, so my guess is it was all people from Chicago trying to fill up on the way back. That's funny. What does the government do with all these toll roads? Well, typically it's the state governments tolling them, and typically what the state governments do is they just use it to fulfill just to line their pockets. They don't use it for anything. But I feel like that should be obvious, T-Lord. They don't care about you. Like, I'm damn sure most of the money these toll roads make don't go back into funding the roads. They don't go back into funding the education. They don't go back to do anything. I mean, at least with the lottery, it goes back into the education system, but in, when it comes to the toll roads, your money's gone. They just go to Congress. It just goes to Congress, quite frankly. Lengths people go to spend money. Yeah. I bet they are using that toll money for, yeah, they use it for something useful. AKA, increasing their salaries. Peak idiocracy, yeah. Shit driver meme compilation for the YouTube channel. Dude, I totally should do that. I should totally do that. Like, just upload... Well, here's the thing, T-Lord. I actually upload shorts of, like, bad drivers. I've uploaded shorts of bad drivers before on YouTube. Of, like, just clips I've recorded of people making an illegal left into a one-way street. Or, you know, zooming past me on the right lane going, like, 90 miles an hour. I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. I've clipped quite a few of the stupid shit like that. Pseudo RMRF is a cool way to get free diamonds. Yeah. But yeah, that's what RMRF does. It's essentially a nuke. Imagine using tolls to justify spending money you don't have. Yeah, I will say this from the bottom of my heart. If you hate toll roads, Use side roads. For God's sake, they make them for a reason. I think they're actually required to make them, even though it's less required and more necessary by all means. If you want to follow a road parallel to 8090, use Route 20 or use Ohio Route 2. It's cheaper. It may take longer. Same with Indiana. You just take Route 20 instead of 8090. It's a little farther south. You'll hit Elkhart and a couple other major cities, but it'll be cheaper. You'll probably get better fuel economy too, because you're not going, 70, 80 miles an hour, albeit it'll take like an hour longer. Luckily nowadays, most Linux distro make you type things into the terminal to confirm you want to be a dumbass and delete everything. Yeah. By the way, go sub to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, fellas. All my fellas. Dude, people in my area suck at driving. Some guy ran a red in my area and nearly killed my dad. I never feel safe at an intersection because of it now. You live in California. You live in California. That's all I'm going to say to you, bud. You live in California. Can't really say otherwise. Just get the fuck out of that state, man. JASIC leaking the fuel economy meta for real, for real. Dude, Fletch, my car, my Prius, can get 50 miles to the gallon if I go anywhere between 45 and 60 miles an hour. And if I just stick to that speed, I literally crack 50 miles a gallon every fucking time. When I was driving home, even though I had like, a Christmas tree on my dashboard of hazard lights, I still got 50 miles to the gallon. I actually got like 51 going from my friend's place in Northeast Ohio, just west of Cleveland. I went from there to home, and it was like 380 miles or some shit. And I got 50 miles to the gallon. That's a lot. That's impressive. Like, imagine if your car got 50 miles to the gallon. What would you do? And don't tell me, oh, I have an electric car. I don't have to worry about gas. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You still pay for the electricity. I don't want to hear it. My optimal speed is 65, 70 highway. Yeah. That is slow in SoCal, by the way. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I believe that plenty of people go 80, 85. And I almost guarantee you will get pulled over by a cop. Because, sir, you're going too slow, but I'm going the speed limit. Yeah, you're going too slow. Everybody else is going 85. They'll pull you over for going the speed limit in California. They'll pull you over. They'll pull you over for going the speed limit instead of going 20 over. If you're going 20 over, you won't get pulled over in California. That's just California for you, though. A Hilux. Is that really, really, really cheap Toyota car or Toyota lightweight truck? The Hilux Champ? Isn't that the thing that they're making in Thailand that's going to be like $10,000 or some really, really, really cheap amount? Because that's a really cool truck. I would totally buy one of those. I would totally buy that because it's $10,000 brand new. And it doesn't have any of the stupid fucking spyware, Android Auto, whatever the fuck shit. And that's totally for me. I don't want a car that has like all these crazy fucking features that Google and Apple can spy on you with. I just want a car that can maybe hook up to an MP3 player or to my phone to play music, and that is it. Biggest problem in Cali is the Tesla drivers. Half of them think they can rely on autopilot and nearly mow me over with their dumbass car. Yep, you're right. 65 works for me, but at least 70 I start to drop a little. Yeah. Anytime I go to see my great grandmother, I take this route called 194, which in Frederick goes from Frederick to Hanover, Pennsylvania, which if anybody knows where Hanover, Pennsylvania is, it's the place where they make Snyder's pretzels, amongst many, many other things. If you know what Utz is, Hanover's where Utz is headquartered. But it goes from Frederick to Hanover, and you drive a solid 45 to 55 miles an hour on there. And I can get 55 miles a gallon on that road because it's flat. It's a little bit hilly in Carroll County, but it's mostly flat and it's mostly moderately high speed, which is great for fuel economy. But yeah, I'll usually get like 55 miles a gallon just driving on that little bit of it. Tesla drivers are a different breed. Yeah, my aunt is slowly becoming one. Oh, by the way, I saw her today in her Tesla. I'm not going to say her plate, but she has a very unique plate. Kind of like me, I have a unique custom plate on my car, but she has a very unique custom plate on her car. And I was like, wait a minute, that's her Tesla. So I get in the lane left of her, start slamming my horn, open up my right, no, it's not you gas. No, it's funnier than that. I open up my right window, or lower my right window, and I see her face, and she's like, who the hell is this guy? And then she had that moment where she's like, oh, that's that's my nephew. And then she drives up to me and goes like, hey, how you doing? And we have a little conversation for 5 seconds, but it was really funny. Cosmetically beat up vehicles are the best pick for me. Well, they're cheap because they're cosmetically beat up. No one wants to buy a shitty looking vehicle, but at the same time, other than maybe aerodynamics being hurt and maybe fuel economy being hurt, there's nothing really big to worry about unless it has frame damage or something, in which case you shouldn't even touch it. But you should know what you're buying if you're doing that. Oh, dude, I have a CD player in my car. It is it so much to ask for dials and a CD player? My 2015 car is at the tail end of having any of that. Dude, my grandmother has an '04 Sienna XLE. Like, it is the luxury line of the Sienna. Which, by the way, that car is 20 years old. It will outlive her. I'm damn sure it will outlive her. Great fucking van, by the way. Like, this is why I'm such a fan of Toyotas, is just that, like, they don't fucking die. You could have engine lights be on and they still won't die. You could still drive them. But, and they're just Japanese, and I'm just severely biased to the Japanese cars. Sienna is goated. Oh my god, yes, peak Toyota, peak fucking Toyota. But it has a tape player in it. It has a tape player, like, you know, those little tapes that you could put in a Walkman. Yeah, it has a tape player in it. It has an old-fashioned GPS in it. It has a CD player in it. It's got some weird, cool fucking cup holders in it. A change holder. You know, remember when cars used to hold your change in them? Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. Oh, dude. I would love something like that if I traveled long distance and was like towing an RV. Man. I remember a comedy skit regarding the old Corollas. Toyota Corolla. Imagine if Toyota made a panel van in the US. I'd buy the shit out of it. Dude, that'd be sick. My dad had a beat up truck with worn seats, and it's a godsend for him. What kind of truck is it, if I may ask? But yeah, no, the Sienna is goated. I love that damn van. My mom had one too. Unfortunately, I forget what died in it. I think it was a belt or something, and my mom just got rid of it as a result. But I'm pretty sure if you replaced that belt, it would have gone easily another 100,000 miles. But I think my grandmother's has like 240K on it, and it's still chugging. It's 20 years old. It's still chugging. She drives it every day, so hopefully it never dies, because Toyotas are just built different. I'm biased, though. If I get myself a new car, it'll either be a Matrix or a RAV4. RAV4s are pretty goated. RAV4s are pretty goated with the sauce, I'll give you that. But yeah, I showed you guys the thing. I remember my dad needing change for toll booths. He was the master of chucking quarters without stopping. Nice. Dude, your dad is based. Your dad is insanely based. Oh my god, I love him. I remember that episode of Top Gear where the boys were scared by the fact they found a broken down Toyota Tacoma in the Middle East. They killed the unkillable. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh shit. Oh, that made me laugh. Thank you for that. But so on the drive home, I got to stay. Rusted ass Victorias beat up both in load and off capacity. Victorias, I forget what those are. You're gonna have to tell me, because I'm not too. I don't remember Victorias. Only if you're brave enough. Only though. What are Victorias? What make is that? What make is that? Like Victoria's Secret? Shut up, Alex. But yeah, on the drive home, I actually, so I thought it was the battery that was going wrong with my vehicle. So I decided to go to an AutoZone and check that. I never thought of checking the engine light when I was there, but I checked the battery. The battery was fine. Old ass Ford cop cars. Oh shit! You're right. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, Ford Victoria. Weren't those from like the 80s? Were those? Yeah, those were like goated as fuck, right? Those are like very sporty cars back in the 80s or so, right? Again, mine's a little fuzzy with that, but I think I know what you're talking about. My dad had a Focus back in the early thousands until one of the belts died on it, and then we got rid of it. But um, V8 land yacht. Ooh, okay, so it's one of those. I'm personally more of a Sequoia guy myself, but the OG cop car and taxis. Yeah, I gotcha. I'm more of a Sequoia guy. Sequoias are cool looking. Although I'm not a fan of Tundras. Tundras look weird. I do like the Sequoias though. I don't know. The front of the Sequoia looks nice. I'm weird. But anyway, it wasn't the battery, so once I started driving home, I had the engine shut off multiple times, but thankfully I drive a hybrid, so it just switches to all electric. And when it happened, I'd pull off to the right side, turn off my car, turn it back on, engine would reignite. So I just moved on. That happened a few times on the drive home. Didn't like just thought it was, like the like one of the sensors going bad or something. Drive home, ABS deploys a couple times, so I end up in a place called Hagerstown, which is just northwest of here. Thankfully, a family member of mine runs AAA, one of the major branches of AAA in the region. So I got a free tow back to Frederick and just drove my car home the rest of the way because I drove it at a slow speed. And earlier today, I went to AutoZone, got the engine light checked. Turns out it was hold on, let me pull up the image for you guys. Let me pull up this image because I wanna tell you exactly what I saw. But here's what I saw. It's a little bit zoomed in. Oh, hold on. I did a fuck up on OBS. Give me a second. How do I There we go. All right. So, these are the codes I got. Dude, the Clutch AAA Family Connection. I know, right? It's amazing. I'm like so fucking thankful for that. Like you don't even know. It's a goddamn blessing in disguise, man. What year is my Prius? Oh 06. Um but yeah, these are the codes I got when it came up. The guy even told me like it's not a powertrain issue. Like it was literally just inverter cooling system performance, which I looked at that, digested in my brain for a couple minutes. I pull out my manual and I look at the hood thing and it comes up with a diagram of what the hood shows. So I go over here and I find out that there is an inverter coolant reservoir. So I check this reservoir and turns out this is the reservoir here for the inverter. And turns out the full line is right here. You can't really see it, but there's also like a low line here. The liquid inside was like not even halfway up to that line. It was not even halfway up to that line. It was so out of coolant, I almost guaranteed I cooked that thing for like at least 300 of those miles I drove it. I cooked that thing for so fucking long. I probably dealt damage to it, honestly. And if so, I completely understand, and that's on me. That's a mistake I'll learn from. But a real Toyota, it still ran after that. Oh shit. Yeah, you're not wrong, bud. You're not wrong. But this was like basically almost empty. And then over here on the left side, there's the engine coolant. And that was about halfway. So there are two lines, there's a full and a low line. It was like basically smack dab in the middle. So I bought a gallon of coolant, topped off both of them, maybe topped off this one a little bit too much because it was well past the fill line. But I mean, at this point, I didn't care. The lights went off. They turned off. The warning lights turned off. I also bought some windshield fluid because that was empty. It was basically about that high in real life, and I filled it back up to just above the 15. So it was full again. So I drive away. I head to my mom's place. Lights come on again. I'm just like, fuck. So I was in trouble again. I still don't know what it is, but I'm gonna hope that it's, you know, I'm gonna hope that it's the same warning. I hope it's just the same, like, inverter bad, inverter overheated, and it'll just take a few days to clear. I'm hoping it's that, but I drove it on a highway. I went well over 60 miles an hour, and it drives just fine. So if I can drive on a highway with it, I'm just not going to give a shit about it. Because at this point, it works. It drives 60 miles an hour. It's just as soon as I go above 70, the brake failure light comes on. So it definitely feels like something is poorly calibrated, or a sensor has gone haywire or something like that. It definitely doesn't feel like it's the alternator or the inverter anymore. It feels like it's something else. And whatever that something else is going to cause me issues, but I'm going to a mechanic on Friday to hopefully diagnose that. And I'll find out then. Hopefully it's like something cheap or something stupid like, you know, the 12-volt battery, which is only like $200. But I'm not going to cry about it. I'm only going to drive this thing mostly in the county for the rest of the year, so I'm not too phased about, you know, not driving it. Not driving it long distance. I don't have to drive it out of the county. I don't have to drive it, you know, hundreds of miles again, at least until December. So I'm fine with it as is. I don't have to worry about it. Our grandchildren will be long dead before the last 99 Camry stops running. Dude, I've seen photos of a Camry that has gone 920,000 miles. Some post office worker in Florida and Southeast Georgia drove a manual Camry. I believe it was like a 90-something Camry, and it went 920,000 miles before he sold it. And they have it at this dealership, and they just have it like, they actually like redid the paint, re-chromed the wheels, everything. They made this thing look like a fucking luxury car. And they just have it there as like a monument to how reliable Toyota is. And it still runs. It still runs. He sold it and it still runs. Oh, I can't make this shit up. Hold on. I actually have to look this up. I have to find out. Camry 900,000 miles. I have to look this shit up. I have to prove to you. Camry that reached. Hold on, I want to find this. I want to find this thing. Oh, dude, I really want to find this. Oh, I don't have that, but I do have there's a New York posting of a Camry hitting a 500,000 miles. Oh, shit. Yeah, again, you can't make this shit up. Newer isn't always better. Largo woman celebrates 500,000 miles with her 1999 Camry. I'm telling you, these things don't die. They just don't. And this is in Florida. Fun fact, chat. Sundowner from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance was quoting a 1999 Camry when he said, "I'm fucking invincible." Oh, shit. No, these cars just don't die. Hold on. Oh, there's a Georgia dealership in Cumming, Georgia. I'm not even kidding you. It's Cumming, Georgia. That I don't know where the photo is, but if you can find it, you can find it, of a Toyota that is like completely refreshed from the 90s, and it looks brand new because it has 900,000 miles on it, and they just use it as a goddamn statue there. It's a Corolla. It's a Corolla, not a. Oh, if I can't get a high. Oh, you're talking to Fletch. Yeah, Corolla is their base low end model. I say low end. It'll last forever. It's a Toyota. Their Camry is their more powerful model, and then you have the Prius, which is like their super uber fuel efficient model, which is the one I have, and I love it because it gets like 50 to the gallon. But the Corollas now are hybrids, which are really great for fuel economy. And they also do the same with RAV4s as well. RAV4s are hybrids now, and actually, they recently made a new one that's prime, just like the Prius, where it's a plug-in hybrid, uh, just like Prius Prime and basically any of the others that have the prime suffix at the end of them. I would want to get a Prius Prime if I ever do upgrade. But that's if I get money. I do want to buy a Prius Prime. I'm one of those weirdos that likes plug-in hybrids. Even though I'm one of those people that also hates electric vehicles, I feel like plug-in hybrids are like a good middle ground. Um, Mainly because, yeah, sure, gas isn't all amazing, but electric isn't amazing either. So having a solid middle ground, in my opinion, is a perfect median. Um, it just makes sense. You plug it into your wall at home to charge like 30 miles for your basic ass commute, but if you need more than that, you dip into your gas reserves. It's a lot cheaper economically, and it's also a lot less retarded because you don't have to deal with the Teslas and all the other brands that are like, we only service your vehicle here, you can't service it anywhere else. um but that's what I like about plug-in hybrids, is that you can still work on your vehicle. Unlike, your Teslas and your Rivians, which you can't do that because they're Teslas and Rivians and they're locked basically to their own dealerships, which is stupid. Corolla's amazing. I have my Sport Corolla for 9 years now and I've never had an issue. Dude, exactly. That's exactly my point. They just don't die. Toyotas just don't die. This is why I keep telling people always buy Japanese cars, because they just don't die. But yeah, basically, long story short, I filled this back up. Engine lights went away, and then they came back on as I was driving on a highway today. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit this out, let a mechanic figure it out on Friday, when he does my oil change, and let it be at that. But I can't really do anything else. And gas motor plug-in is still more efficient and reliable than a basic gas car. Yeah, no, you're right. Because they also make the engines better for the plug-in hybrids, because they need to be able to switch off easy. They need to be able to switch modes super easily, and they need to be built for that. Which is why cars today are a lot more, I would say engines are a lot more better built today because they can just turn off whenever they need to. And that's mainly thanks to, Obama emission requirements and other things like that. There's a reason mining facilities basically use hybrid systems for their high power hauling vehicles. Yeah, exactly. They're reliable as hell. Exactly. Because if they have a failover, if one of the two systems die, they can fail over to the other system temporarily, as a basically warning sign to fix the other one. It's actually a really great failback, and my Prius has it. If I run out of gas, which honestly I should do sometime, I should just intentionally run out of gas just to stress test my vehicle. I should run out of gas, and if I do, it switches to electric. The engine turns off completely, switches to electric. And I have about 3 miles of electric charge in my car. 1 to 3, depends on if I'm climbing a mountain or doing anything like that. But typically it's 3 miles of battery range. Not that you should use the whole 3 miles, because if you do, you'll run out of battery, and then it's impossible to charge the battery, at least on my version of the Prius. But yeah, that's what's been going on. I should probably show you guys at least the picture that my friend took of the Eclipse, because that was a really cool picture, and I love that picture. But it's very low res, mainly because of camera quality, amongst other things. He just couldn't dial it in that well. I like how planes have failsafes, so now they might be a bad time to discuss plane reliability. Yeah, Boeing, anyone? Does anybody like Boeing? Yeah, I love Boeings. I love when the doors just fall off the Boeings and suck everyone out. Yeah, yeah, woo, Boeing, go Boeing. No. Shit, I'm being mean. I'm being diabolical. But yeah, this is it's very small looking. But this is what the Eclipse looked like on my friend's camera. It had a little flare down here, like a little ball. It looked like it almost looked like a star. Like if you look into a night sky, it looked like a very bright star, or it looked like Mars or Venus. It kind of looked like one of the planets was like just kissing the star there, but that's actually a flare. That's actually a solar flare. But very, very beautiful photo. Yeah, solar flare. And then there's also this one I took with my camera. I'm gonna have to find it. I believe it's close to the center. There we go. Really shitty looking. It's very grainy, and I apologize for that. This was shot on my iPhone. It's nowhere close to good looking, but it looks like a giant bull ring. You could actually, like, the flare bleeds out a little bit here. But otherwise it looks like a forbidden spaghettio. Yeah. No, that's a good classification for that. Very beautiful though. Very beautiful. That alone, experiencing that alone was worth it. So basically what it felt like when the eclipse happened, you just saw this layer of darkness just slowly approaching you, and then it just swallows the sun. And then you're just like, holy shit. And it's so dark out. Even before the sun gets swallowed, it was like it felt like you were wearing like really thick sunglasses, and it just felt like everything was a little bit dark, and the birds would go absolutely insane. The birds were going absolutely mental over this because they thought it was going to be nighttime, but it wasn't. It was just getting dark, unnaturally. And as soon as it got like dark, as soon as the sun was swallowed, it was weird looking. It just felt like it was nighttime, but you could look around you, and it was just like yellow, orange sky surrounding you. Everything else around near you was dark. The houses near me were dark. The forest was dark. It literally looked like it was nighttime, except for the fact that it looked like a giant, like, it looked like someone shot the sun out. It looked like there was a giant bullet hole where the sun was, and there was just a little bit of like solar flare and shit leaking out of it. It was really cool looking. But you could see like yellow orange sky surrounding you. And then as the eclipse got closer to the center, it became like this dark black sky. And then it started gradienting back to a dark gray, and then you started seeing this wave of like light gray slowly approach because there's a very thin layer of clouds. This light gray slowly approach back and then just swallow the land again, and then all of a sudden there's a piece of sun left in the sky. And it was really weird. It was a very weird experience. But man, I was glad I got to experience damn near 4 full minutes of that. Like probably 3:45 or so I got to experience. It's a very weird experience. Highly recommend you guys try to experience that at least once in your life. It was definitely fun. I was lucky I was so close to the maximum line. I think the maximum line near where I was like 3:55, and I got to see like 3:45 of it. I was very jealous. Time to catch the next one in 9 to 20 years. I know there's a few in the next decade. I believe the next one is like in 31 or so, 2031. But don't quote me on that. I could be totally bullshitting. In fact, let me look that up. I know Time and Date has a bunch of them recorded. Timeanddate.com for those curious. Really, really useful site for this kind of shit. If it wants to load, that'd be nice. That's with 2 Ds, by the way. One Alaska 9 years from now. I believe that's a partial. Let me just look that up. Yeah, there's a partial eclipse in 2025, but we won't be able to see much of it. Next total solar eclipse. Oh shit. There's one in 2079 that's going to be in Maryland. That's going to be a total one. But we're going to catch like the very beginning of it. So we're not going to see any of that. I'm actually curious about this now. Guys, you've piqued my curiosity. I blame you. (2030 to 2039). solar eclipses. Yeah, there's going to be one in 2031, but that's going to be in South America, not in North America. There's also going to be an annular one in basically all of Europe and Asia. Crap, what's the one in North America then? I know there's one in North America, like, before then. Actually, no, there really isn't. There really isn't. Wow. Yeah, we're not getting another one until, like, or at least not one here that's anywhere close to totality until a good while. That's unfortunate. So I'm glad I caught this one when I did, because there's not going to be another one for a while. There's going to be a total one in 2044, but it's going to be in, like, Montana, and nobody lives up there. I guess if you're in Alberta, that's cool, as you'll get nice totality of it, but if you don't live anywhere near that, you're SOL. Yeah, the next one is going to be... Oh, 2045. 2045, guys. I can't believe the outside devs are trying to call this bug an Eclipse patch your games, guys. So actually, there is one in 2045, and it will cut right through Northern California into Nevada, Utah, Colorado. Then it'll start bending down into Oklahoma and Arkansas, through Mississippi, and then it'll basically cut straight through Florida. So 2045 is going to be the next major one that we can experience. So if you miss this one, you're going to be waiting another 21 years for the next one, unfortunately. So I'm glad I caught the one I did when I did, because if I didn't, I'd be waiting 21 more years for this one. And I don't know if society is going to live 21 more years, so that's cool. Here, I'll even show you guys this. This is in August 12th, 2045. And it just quite literally cuts through NorCal. Here, let me give this a nice zoom in. But that's going to cover quite a bit of population. This will be like the first one where Texas doesn't get to experience totality. Haha, sucks to be you, Texas. You can catch it? Yeah, you can. You're in NorCal? Nice. I would say not nice because it's California. California sucks, but you know that already. For me it'd be a longer drive, but I would totally drive down to Jacksonville. Because I have friends that live there. I also have friends that live in like the Ocala, Deltona, Orlando region. I could probably ask if I could buy a bunk there for a day. It goes through Orlando, so Disney World is already planning it, I bet. Oh, I guarantee you. The fact that look at this. Probably 90% of Florida is going to be under totality. Actually, no, probably closer to 75, 80%. But just look at that. The only major city that doesn't get totality is Jacksonville. Like, almost the rest of Florida, except for maybe Pensacola, but almost the entire rest of Florida is going to get this eclipse. That is almost perfect. At least I'm not in Alabama. Yeah, you know, I can understand that. I can understand that opinion. But yeah, like, I live up here, so I would get 90, 80, 70. I would get about 65% coverage, but that's lame. That's lame and boring. I can drive down here. I've been on 95 probably a dozen times at this point, from DC to Jacksonville. I can totally man up and take that drive. I'll probably go with my brother, for God's sake, and just drive that. My sister lives in Deltona. Guess I'll schedule that visit with her now. Oh yeah, that's perfect for her. That's perfect for her, because Deltona's right off 4. I remember seeing Deltona. It's just north of Sanford. Still in Volusia, though. It's still in Volusia County. Not in, I believe it's called Seminole County. Yeah, I'm a geography nerd. You can insert your nerd emoji whenever you want. But I can only imagine going to Disney World that day is going to be a bitch. Call her now, say, can I visit you in 21 years on October 12th, 2045? Fuck, what time will this actually be on? What time will this actually be on? I'm curious now. Yeah, it'll be visible in Frederick, but it won't look anywhere nice as what this is gonna be. Alright, there you go. She'd be like, what do you mean I can't move? Nice. The classic trolling. Classic trolling. But yeah, I got friends throughout like Central Florida, so I could definitely hit one up. And worst case scenario, I got family that lives in Miami. And I can always just like ask her if I could stay at her place in Miami. Um she's an interesting family member. I'm not going to say much about her, but she's an interesting family member. Um But yeah, this is what the next Eclipse is going to look like. At least the next one that's worth going to in America. And I'll totally be going down to it. I'll totally be going down to it come hell or high water. That'll be a fun drive. Plus, I get to go to Buc-ee's. And if you haven't ever been to Buc-ee's, there's one in Florence. There's one in like right here in St. Augustine. There's one in Daytona. If you ever find a Buc-ee's on your drive, stop at one. They're amazing. I love them. And you'll love them too. But yeah, that's going to be enough about me ranting about the Eclipse. And enough about my car. Is a restaurant? No. Oh shit, he doesn't know what a Buc-ee's is. Buc-ee's looks overrated. Nah, fam, you just dumb. Nah. Buc-ee's is basically, if anybody's ever been to a Sheetz or basically any other really nice gas station that like offers like fast service food, think of it like that, except when you go to the restroom, there's 80 urinals. When you go to the gas pumps, there's like 40 to 80 gas pumps. And whenever you get your food, it's just already readily made. And they're open 24/7. If anybody lives on the East Coast like me, think Sheetz, but multiply it by 10. And that's what you get. That's what a Buc-ee's is. It's Sheetz times 10. You thought Sheetz was good? Nah, you haven't been to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the shit. But yeah, it is the most Texas thing ever. I will agree with you infinitely on that. You can go into the restrooms and there'll be fucking artwork hung up everywhere that you can buy. You can buy this artwork that is hung up on the walls of Buc-ee's. You can buy it. And they also have like, beach chairs and other crazy shit depending on the location, of course. The one I usually stop at is Daytona. And of course they have beach chairs and shit there because it is a beach resort location. But they have like fucking everything there. I need to go to Texas to see the giant hole they made from that failed particle accelerator. The bathroom artwork collecting middle-aged cowboys staying. No, it's like actual artwork. It's like, nature, like flowers and shit, barns and stuff. A lot of good artwork, honestly. And it's probably made by locals as well. But they have brisket there, that's the shit. They have hot dogs there, that's the shit. But that's also because I'm a simple man. I love my glizzies. Glizzy. Oh my god, they do have it. Glizzy. But no, glizzies, their cheese puffs are absolutely amazing. They have like 5 bajillion different snacks. They're so good, man. And anytime I go there, I buy a tin of mints. I buy a tin of mints from them. The only mints I have in my car are Buc-ee's mints. And unfortunately, I burned through a can of Buc-ee's mints already, so I have one more tin left. I'd have to backlight that art before purchase. But no, there's a lot of cool shit that they have there. Of course, your touristy stuff, like your Buc-ee's, beach chairs, your Buc-ee's shirts and stuff you can buy as well. But you go there for the food. You go there for the snack experience. It's basically a mecca, a hajj, if you will. You have to go there at least once in your life to enjoy it. It's a very American experience. If you're not from America, it'll feel like you're thrown in an entirely different culture. It's definitely interesting. But yeah. If I ever do get a car that actually works at speeds up to over 70 miles an hour, I do plan to make more long trips like that. It's just a matter of if not when. Because driving long distance is also kind of inconvenient when you also don't make any money doing it. Wish there was still a Showbiz Pizza in the US still. I've never heard of Showbiz Pizza. I'm going to look that shit up. Oh, Midori, what's that one Las Vegas like surreal food store? What's that place called? That's in Las Vegas. Omega Mart. Omega Mart. Omega Mart. Wait, Showbiz Pizza Place is part of Chuck E. Cheese? Or was it? No, it was merged into Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. It has hella Freddy Fazbear vibes on the logo. Like, the logo looks like some shit out of fucking Freddy Fazbear. I'm not even gonna joke. Like, here, I'm gonna turn on Dark Reader again. And, not flashbang you guys. But yeah. Just look at that logo. That logo looks like a FNAF logo. You can't tell me otherwise. That's a fucking FNAF logo. That's a fucking FNAF logo. Wait, Showbiz bought them? But they were merged into them. Oh, I know for a fact it was inspired by Showbiz, but like, and Chuck E. Cheese, but like, it's so uncanny just seeing it for the first time. Like, what the fuck? Wait, Atari? I'm sorry, Atari opened the first Chuck E. Cheese's pizza? Wait, not the Atari. Is that the Atari? T-Lord, is that the Atari I'm thinking about? It is. Oh my god. What the fuck? Huh? That's a thing? Well, the man that owns Showbiz animatronic IP backed out and the merger forced him to use Chuck E. Cheese. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Oh, that is so weird. Dude, I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh my god. Dude, I just had like my brain explode thinking about that. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know Atari made that. Nolan Bushnell, responsible for creating the first widely recognized video game Pong, headed a project in the mid-70s for Atari to launch the first arcade-oriented family restaurant with a computer-programmed animatronics. At a time when arcades were popular in bowling alleys and bars, Bushnell sought to expose younger audiences to arcade games. In 1977, Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater in San Jose, California was opened. It was an immediate success. After leaving Atari in 1978, Bushnell purchased the Pizza Time restaurant, forming a new company, Pizza Time Theater, Inc. Damn, that is fucking crazy. You can see a diagram of how they retrofitted Showbiz animatronics to look like Chuck E. Cheese's animatronics. Dude, that is kind of creepy. That's also a creepy-ass bear. Like, who the fuck would actually go up to that bear? I'm sorry, what? That's creepy shit. This looks even weirder. This looks like even more FNAF. This looks like FNAF's logo mixed with Thomas and Friends logo. Does anybody else know what Thomas and Friends logo looks like? This looks just like that, but with a green outline and a weirder font. Guys, really? Why? Why, guys? Are you serious, man? Why? How have they not made a Fazbear restaurant IRL? Scott Cawthon. Scott Cawthon. Well, he also probably fears the same thing I would fear if I went to a fucking FNAF restaurant. They would have to fake out the deaths while also making sure that people don't actually kill people there. And given the fan base, I feel like it would be kind of obvious that they would do that. No offense to the FNAF fan base, but y'all are fucking creeps. I'm just gonna say it as is. Y'all are fucking creeps. I guess they'd have to worry about child murder. Yeah, exactly. Exactly my point. That's the problem with franchises like that. Yeah, it would be a cool idea, but you would bring all the bad people to there. And given that a lot of the fan base is bad people, you would not have a good time with that. That's just how it is, unfortunately. It's a great idea on paper. It's just that you have to read the room and realize, oh, that's a bad idea. Maybe we should not do that. I was working in parks and saw a FNAF themed child birthday. I got hard whiplash from it. Oh, dear God. Like, Was this child like single digits age? Because that's, hell no, man. Hell no. You going to watch the Masters? I haven't watched golf in such a long time, Ian. Golf is so boring to watch. It's so fun to play. It is so fucking boring to watch, Ian. No offense. I love the sport. I love playing it. It's just so fucking expensive. It's just, I'm not a fan of watching it. It's it's kind of like baseball for me. I hate watching baseball. It's fun to understand people who enjoy it's understandable to listen to people who like baseball. It's just, I fucking hate baseball. It's so boring to watch. Albeit they've improved it with shot clock and stuff like that, so it's actually fun to watch now. But man, watching baseball is boring as shit, and watching golf is, it's a lot of just sitting there and waiting for a shot to happen. Now, albeit there could be some really cool moments, but that's what, watching the highlights is for, at least in my opinion. Now, when it comes to hockey or, yeah, even football to a degree, football can have some interesting moments to it, albeit it is a bit watered down. Um, but hockey especially is like always very metal to me, and it's always fun to watch. Never has a child-friendly franchise had more implied child murder. Maybe Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is close. You bring a good point. That is a good movie, by the way. I'm talking about the one with the older one, not the newer one with Johnny Depp in it. No offense, Johnny Depp, but the newer one's dog shit. The old one is a hood classic, though. Gonna head to bed. Yeah, thank you, Ian. Thank you for talking with me earlier today. By the way, I appreciate it, dude. I was a bit in the doldrums earlier today because of recent events, or more say personal recent events, like my car fucking shitting itself. Um or the newer one with Anthony Chalime. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that correctly. Is it the one that just came out like this year or or late last year? Because if so, I'm not even gonna bother watching that. I'm not even gonna bother. Um, you're just defiling a grave, in my opinion. And frankly, if you want to defile a grave of such a good franchise, you can go fuck yourself. I just don't care about these companies defiling a grave to make a quick buck. Looking at you, Disney, with Lion King and Little Mermaid. I don't even know who the fuck does Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Probably Warner Brothers. But I'm looking at you for ruining that franchise too. Looking at Disney for ruining Star Wars. Yeah, welcome to modern Hollywood. Exactly. They're such good grave defilers. The only people who are second to them are video games. Specifically, oh, do I want to say Nintendo or do I want to say Capcom? Oh, which one of those video game companies is worse at defiling graves? Nintendo or Capcom? Nintendo actually has a couple good ones, so I'll let them slide on that. But Capcom, there's also Konami, which does really shitty remakes. Which others? Oh yeah, didn't King Kong get a really fucking unfinished garbage ass game that released earlier this year? It was like fucking awful. Same with Gollum. Wasn't there a Gollum game that also like hit the fucking fan so goddamn hard it exploded? It was such an awful fucking unfinished pile of shit. The Kong game with the PNG jump scare. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, dude. It's astonishing how people buy those games. It's astonishing how those games get published. Like, come on, people. Come on. But yeah, Godzilla has dodged being defiled quite a bit. Are the movies any good? Actually, serious question. Are the movies any good? And I say this from like an actual like non-Godzilla fan standpoint, because I know you're a Godzilla fan, but I want a non-Godzilla standpoint. Are they good? Lord of the Ring Gollum, the unintentional successor to Getting Over It. Real. But no, I'm serious. Are those movies any good? Because I know there was a new one that was recently released, like I believe earlier this year or late last year. Time kind of just melds with my brain at this point. I don't know if it was 6 months ago or a month ago at this point, and it's kind of unfortunate. And Godzilla X Kong are all fun for their own reasons. Okay. Well, Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? I think I got most of the shit off my plate, most of the stuff off my chest of, you know, driving is interesting. Sometimes for fun, sometimes it sucks ass. -1 is good in a serious movie, and X-Kong is dumb fun. Oh, speaking of movies, I was watching Chappie with a friend in Ohio the other night. And I was like, oh, it's a sci-fi movie. It's gonna be mediocre. No, that shit actually made me fucking cry. I like broke down and cried at the end of that movie. Fuck, dude. If you haven't watched Chappie, it's so... Dude, T-Lord, I will fucking set up Chappie right now and we will watch it after stream. I will fucking set that shit up right fucking now. I will cry again. I will get that experience again. I will fucking cry. Dude, that movie is so damn good. Like, you know it's good. Like, literally, I was with my friend and she brought it up and I saw the tomato meter and it said 32% and I'm like... You know it's good when you see it says 32% on the tomato meter. You know it's good. You know it's good. If it's that lowly rated on the tomato meter, you know it's good. You know that means it's not woke. It's not bullshit. You know it's good. No, it's not a useless rating site. Rotten Tomatoes is a great rating site for listening to the exact opposite of what it tells you. That's what it's good for. Listening to the exact opposite of what it tells you. If it says 32%, it's probably worth watching. If it says 85%, it's probably not worth watching because it's probably woke or panders or they probably paid reviewers. If it's something like 10%, you should probably be more wary. Some well-rated films are good though. You do bring a fair point, but I will agree that it is a very inconsistent thing. You should definitely not use it as a rating system. Unironically, you should use it as more of a gag, as in like, oh, it's rated 30 to 50%. You should probably go watch it, because typically 30 to 50% seems to be where all the decent movies are. All the relatively good B movies and a lot of the good A movies that are like well made will be in that category. If there's a big split between critics and audience, approach with caution. Not really. Not really. Because I'm pretty sure the lesbian Ghostbusters got like, what, 80% or something? Hold on, let me look this up. Like, one of my most hated movies ever made is Lesbian Ghostbusters. And I just call it Lesbian Ghostbusters as an insult to it. Yeah, IMDb rated it 6.8 out of 10. What else was it rated at? I want to know, what else was it rated at? How did it win awards? Nah, fuck you. That movie deserved 0 awards. It was just a fucking shitty-ass Ghostbusters reboot with all women just because they have vaginas. It had it had no culture. It was soulless. That was not a good movie. Fuck you. Had an approval rating of 74%. What did I say? If it's highly rated, it's probably bad. Funny thing, my sister really wanted to see it for Halloween one year, and the cover design was so generic she couldn't find it. Oh, shit. I saw it, but I didn't tell her. Yeah, no, fuck that movie. I remember, I was in the cinema watching that. I have stories of this. I was in the cinema watching the Lesbian Ghostbusters reboot, and I saw people walk out of the cinema. Walk out of the cinema. I was there. My dad is a slightly big Ghostbusters fan. I wouldn't say massive, but like he appreciates it because that was like, you know, late into his childhood, early into his like adulthood that he watched it. And I just remember I was like, 15 at the time, and I saw just a bunch of people walking out. There was probably only like a quarter of the audience left. She was telling the search engine Ghostbusters, but with women. Dude, that's what I hate about it. They just sex swap all the characters just to make a point. And the point they made was that if you sex swap characters, it makes a shit movie. And thanks for proving that point, guys. I really do appreciate it. Congrats on ruining the franchise. The film that shall not be named, lol. Like the other one we don't speak about. May I ask which one you're talking about? I'm going to ask. If you say shall not be named, you know I'm going to ask. There's one good Ghostbusters film. Yeah, the original. The original. There's maybe the second one if you're weird, but the original. That's the only good one. Like, imagine this, guys. Last Airbender? Oh, shit, you're right. What about the Avatar movie that was made in like '07? That was really decent. At least I liked it. That's probably a hot take. Um, like the Avatar Blue People, that one. That was made by Spielberg. I like that one. I heard they made like a reboot of it or like some sort of sequel to it, and I heard it was fucking awful to no one's surprise. It's Disney. What do you expect? I also heard Ubisoft made a video game for Avatar, the Blue People one, not the anime. And I heard that was also dog shit, but it was also woke and just a bunch of pandering and virtue signaling, and that's just like, yeah, waste of money. Congratulations, Ubisoft, you wasted more money on Disney franchises. Good job, bro. Haven't seen the sequel yet. Yeah, dude, the original movie was amazing. Way of Water was great. I saw when I was stoned. The plot was mid, visuals were great. Oh, shit. Oh, you crack me up. You crack me up, T-Lord. Yeah, I watched that when I was stoned. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That was funny. Woo. Oh, my God. That was funny. Thank you for that. Last time I was stoned too. Okay, well, at least you don't get stoned all the time. I'll give you credit for that. But god damn, dude, why was that fucking funny? Why was that so fucking funny? I don't know why. The funny part about that lesbian Ghostbusters reboot in December 2021. Here, let me show you this. In December 2021, director Paul Feig's film was omitted from publicity material for an announced 8-disc boxed set titled Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection, containing all other Ghostbusters films in the franchise up to 2021 for release in February 22. Feig considered this a mistake, so I guess this is just an oversight by the distributors. Holy shit, even he knew he fucked up. Even he knew that he fucked up by just putting in walking vaginas as Ghostbusters. Like, no offense, I like Melissa McCarthy. She's a good actress. But they did her dirty. They did her and all the other women there dirty by just making a soulless fucking feminized Ghostbusters. Yeah, that film was a giant fucking mistake. That's like proof. That's like evidence number one of why woke movies go broke. Even though it did make a profit, unfortunately. But even Paul Feig said a movie like this has to get at least 500 million worldwide, and it only made 230. That just goes to show it was a technical success. Was it a great one? Not really. It had a budget of 144 and it only made just south of 230. That's only like 90 million profit. That's not that's decent, not amazing by any means. The movie would probably be more bearable if it was not called Ghostbusters. If it was like a spin-off or something, it would still get bad ratings, or at least the regular consumer would still hate it, but it would definitely not, get as good of a foothold. They made it the main franchise just to try to get money off of it, and instead they just kind of just ruined the whole fucking thing. What's the controversy? Oh yeah, received criticism for the all-female cast, which some felt as a gimmick because it was. Again, lesbian Ghostbusters. That's what it was. If you were a lesbian, this movie was for you. If you weren't a lesbian, congratulations. Don't watch this movie. Todd Martin said of the Los Angeles Times, suggested fans felt entitled to a film that preserved the original as they imagined it. Well, guess what, Todd Martins? You're a wokey. Go fuck yourself. Stone... Hold on. Stone's plotless movies, sure. If you want a great drinking movie, 1986 Transformers animated, shot each time anything is said that rhymes with Tron, you take a shot. Oh, that was the start of the "you're sexist if you hate it" era. Dude, I know, right? That's me with Star Wars. I've had idiots tell me, "Oh, you just hate Rey because she has a vagina." No, I hate Rey because she learned the Force in 2 hours, unlike Anakin and Obi-Wan and literally every other Jedi. That's why I hate Rey in Star Wars. I don't hate her because she has a vagina. I hate her because she's a Mary Sue. Don't you ever realize that, people? Like, for God's sake, man. I would hate Rey if she was a guy, fun fact. Exactly. Because she is so boring and like, oh, I know everything now. No, that's not how Star Wars works. And they killed off all the males because the males are bad. And even the producer is like admitted to this. Oh yeah, we got rid of them because toxic masculinity or whatever the fuck else. Generic Mary Sue protagonists are lame and overused. I 100% agree. Where's the badass tomboy, man? Where's the badass fucking tomboy? I'm telling you that it's sitting there right in front of you. You get men like me who would definitely watch it because it has a tomboy in it. And you'd also get the diversity, rainbow-haired, 70 IQ mouth breathers to watch it because it's a woman who acts like a man. Like, come on, guys. That's an untapped money pool just sitting there. And you guys are just too fucking woke and stupid to grab it. The protagonists of Avatar films have the same Mary Sue problem. Which Avatar are we talking about? Last Airbender or Blue People? Because I don't know which one you're talking about. Because they're both go by the same name. Blue Man Group. Got it. Okay. You know? Are you talking about the first one? Because if you're talking about the first one, I could see that. Maybe a little bit. But I also haven't watched the second one, so I can't really tell about the second one. But no, dude, like, I remember watching the Mario movie. Sully is like, worse in a second. Take a hint from the previous badass female leads, like why ruin tomboys? Exactly. Like, I remember watching the Mario movie with a couple people, and I was watching the movie with a gay couple, and I've probably said this like a dozen times now, but I'll tell this story again. I was watching a Mario movie with a couple friends, and two of the friends were a gay couple. And they have like Lord of the Rings marriage rings, which is probably the nerdiest fucking shit, and I love them for it. They're like really cool guys. So if anybody wants to call me homophobic, eat my ass. But no, really cool guys. They have Lord of the Rings rings as marriage rings, which is probably the coolest, nerdiest fucking shit on the planet. But I remember I was watching a Mario movie with them, and once credits hit, they're like, "Why the fuck isn't Daisy the badass girl boss?" Or they said something like that, like, "Where's Daisy?" And I'm just like, dude, I agree. Why not make Daisy the girl boss? Instead, they made Peach the girl boss, which is not fitting to her personality. She's the dumb slut that gets captured by Bowser, and you have to rescue her. That's mainly her job in the Mario franchise. Regardless of what feminists think or get offended over that tough shit, some women are just high maintenance, and some women are not. That's just how women are. Not all of them are the same. Maybe if you understood your peers, you would know that and not act like a misogynist to your own sex. Just saying. Just saying. SMG4 has a more accurate Peach, lol. You're probably right, actually. I hate to say that you're right, but you're probably right. You done to watch Way of Water? No. No, I don't want to get that franchise ruined for me. But, yeah, like, I don't get why they ruined Peach instead of just putting Daisy in to be the tomboy, the badass girl boss that she very fittingly could be. That angered me a little bit. That left a sour taste in my mouth with the Mario movie. It's still a good movie. Jack Black fucking carries that damn movie. I'll say that much. He definitely carries that movie wholeheartedly and is the soul and backbone of that movie. But it's not a shit movie. Is it mildly woke? Yes. Is it like maybe a 7 out of 10? Maybe 8 out of 10 if you're on a good day? Yes. Is it perfect? No. It never will be. But it's alright. I'm happy with snacks in Resident Evil games or movies. Yeah, dude, Jack Black is just a hood classic. You can't not love him. It doesn't matter what role he is. You know it's Jack Black when he plays that role. I mean, for God's sake, he's made his own fucking rock band. He's Kung Fu Panda, another franchise that's been ruined. He's Bowser. He's himself in like every other movie. School of Rock. Dude, yeah, Kung Fu Panda is the perfect series for him, man. I actually watched that. Once I got off the cruise ship and I was on my flight home to BWI, I remember watching Kung Fu Panda for the first time this year, 2.5 months ago, is when I watched Kung Fu Panda for the first time. Holy shit, did I sleep on that movie? I slept on that movie so goddamn hard. So goddamn hard I slept on that movie. That was a great movie. I now understand why people love the franchise as much as they love Shrek. Because DreamWorks fucking killed people back then. And I don't mean that literally, I mean that figuratively, as in like, they cooked. They cooked their franchises back then. They knew how to cook. They cooked out Shrek. They cooked out fucking Megamind. Megamind was DreamWorks, right? Yeah, it was Megamind. They cooked Kung Fu Panda. Oh, dude, I know, right? And they even cooked Puss in Boots a little bit, even though that was more of a spin-off than it was its own thing. That being said, Last Wish was absolutely amazing. That was probably my favorite movie of last year. Or was it 2 years ago? Whatever. It was my favorite movie of the year it came out. Highly recommend watching it. Last Wish was absolutely amazing. But Shrek was a good franchise. I would say there's the first 3 movies were all right. The first 2 were amazing. The first was amazing. The sequel was pretty good too. Past 2 you kind of don't want to watch it unless you're really invested in the franchise. And then Secret Life of Pets. No, that was Illumination. That was Illumination, but that was a good movie no less. But yeah, look what they did to Megamind. Look what they did to Megamind, man. They fucking look how they massacred my poor boy. How could you do that to me, DreamWorks? How could you make the best kids movie ever made and fuck it up? How could you fuck up Megamind? So terribly, man. I loved that franchise as a kid, or just the movie as a kid. I watched it in my grandma's Sienna all the goddamn time because it had a DVD player in it. Loved Megamind. I'd actually never watched Button of Doom until later in my life when I ripped the the was it a Blu-ray? It was a Blu-ray. Until I ripped the Blu-ray that my grandmother had. I ripped it and it had Button of Doom in it. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna watch Button of Doom now. Good little short. I wish they made more of those. Unfortunately, kids show. Why did they make a kids show of Megamind? Button of Doom is the real sequel. 100% agree. 100% agree. I agree with your statement. Dude, Button of Doom is actually amazing. I like that. I kind of wish they made that into a full sequel, because that would have been amazing. It's really solid. I do like that. But yeah, it's a shame what they've done to so many of those franchises, those movie franchises. But hey, at least we know that they're firing DEI people. At least we know they're firing diversity people, because Hollywood is finally going belly up, which is a really good thing for us sane, intelligent people, and a bad thing for rainbow-haired mouth breathers. So there's that. Now we just need video games to hit that, and video games are usually like 5 years behind Hollywood in terms of getting to the ropes of the culture war. So hopefully, in like maybe 5 years, the AAA gaming industry goes belly up, and then we finally have, actually good games again. By the way, did you hear about that Lara Croft video game that has like a bunch of diversity hires as her like friends, and she is apologetic for her colonist ways? Dear God, people, what are you doing to these fucking franchises? You're ruining yet another tomboy by claiming all this fucking stupid, oh, I was an imperialist, oh, I'm sorry. No, thank you. No, that's dumb. What are you talking about tonight? We went from talking about car shit to Eclipse shit to movies. And now we're on movies. But and actually we're kind of moving to video games now, but how dare you, Square Enix? How dare you ruin the franchise that made you popular? How dare you? Oh no, say it ain't so. Oh, your love is a hot. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I need to stop referencing Weezer. But no, yeah, no, it's an actual thing, unfortunately, and I think Sweet Baby Inc. has involvement with it. Which, Midori, if you don't know my rant about Sweet Baby Inc., I'm just gonna give you the watered down short version of it. Basically, Montreal-based company that you're more or less required to hire for your games to be woke compliant, so you get easy ESG money. Very cringe, stupid political shit that shouldn't exist. If we ever do a podcast episode, Jasek, we should do a movie talk. If you ever get a webcam, dude, I am totally down to have you do a podcast with me. I just make that like a rule with everyone. If you join a camera and a mic is required, just to make it so that it feels like everyone is like, you have a face to a name, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. It's just a way of how I process people whenever I talk to them face to face. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm autistic. Me no like show face though. That's understandable, man. I get it. But yeah, I do definitely have quite a few people on my short list for making a podcast. I'll be right back. Gonna go bang my head on the wall now. So tired of this stuff. I know, right? I know. Why do they gotta ruin Lara Croft, man? Why do they gotta ruin her? Hey, at least we get Big Booba Korean waifu, Eve from Stellar Blade. Boy, is that making wokies mad. Holy shit. I don't know if anybody's seen Stellar Blade, but if you have a PS5, go buy that game. Please, I beg you. It actually looks like a really solid game. And it's made by a Korean studio that is like actually not woke. And they actually care about their fans. And I'm like, I genuinely want it to take off because it may bring a renaissance or be some sort of catalyst. And we kind of need that. Because the same thing happened with Tubi back in Nier. People hated her and now people love her. Same thing happened with Lara Croft back in the 90s. Oh, she has tits and she climbs. Oh, that's sexist. Now look at her, or at least look at what she used to be a year ago. People worshipped her. The journalists, the same journalists that hated her 20 years ago, worship her now for being the defilement of women in video games. And it's just like, come on, guys, you're dishonest. But yes, she is a perfect role model for women in video games. You just came 20 years late to the party to say that because you just hate women in video games so much that you have to finally decide once everyone else says that she's cool, then you say that she's cool. God, I hate game journalists. They're not even gamers and they're not even journalists. They're just fake news providers. That's all they are. Her razor sharp triangle boobs are just funny to me. Kind of like Rouge's boobs. I can't believe your tits are just one polygon. No. Game journalists are dumb. They'll say something is racist or sexist. Meanwhile, they're the ones being racist or sexist. Game journalist is like an insult now. Yes, no. They'll say you can't be racist to white people. My brother in Christ, you're literally being racist to me. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, man. Oh my god, I hate those people. Are they even people? Like, genuinely, are game journalists even people? I refer easy mode as game journalist mode. Honestly, there are some games that have made a game journalist mode solely for them, which is hilarious, by the way. How's the Eclipse trip? Eclipse trip was amazing, except for car troubles. I still have the car troubles. Basically, if I go over like 60, 65 miles an hour, my car will trigger the brake system. So I have to get that fixed. Whatever it is, I hope it's just a sensor or maybe my battery on my car, like the 12-volt battery. Because that's like $200 to replace. I can do that. But if it's something more expensive, then I'm gonna be in massive trouble, and I'm not gonna be able to fix it. At least not with the money I have now. I only have like $500 to my name, and I'm not gonna sell like all my shit that I have, because if I do that, then what's the point in living if I don't have, stuff to entertain myself? I know that sounds weird and like very stingy, but let's be real here. If you don't have stuff to entertain you in your life, what's the point in living? I'm just saying. if you don't have stuff that keeps you happy in life, what's the point in living? For some people, it's their children. For some people, it's a 3D printer. For some people, it's a computer. And for some people, it's a car. Looking at you, Thermalace, I know you're probably not watching right now, but if you watch this in post, I called you out. Mr. Supra owner. But yeah, no. And for some people, it's cocaine. I'm just saying, if you don't have what you enjoy, what's the point in living? You got to make sure that you have what you enjoy, and preferably it be cheaper than more expensive, like drugs. It's good to have a hobby. It's not good to have an addiction. I'll say that much. It's good to have a hobby, not an addiction. I never once in my life used a game journalist as a reference for if a game is good or not. Just word of mouth and Steam reviews. Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe a YouTuber here and there when I was younger and less wise. But today, I literally, no, actually, no, I still use YouTubers occasionally, but I use the ones that are like very critical, just like me, and think like me. Like basically, like I'll nitpick at the most autistic shit. And people go like, yeah, I agree with you. Like a lot of you will do the same thing. Like, yeah, I agree with you, Jacek. This makes no sense. But also, I'll also bitch about like the most stupidest thing on the planet. Like, this isn't the way I like it. And yeah, sometimes I do that. That's my fault. That's just me. I'll blame it on myself. But for the most part, I use them as the real game journalists. Yeah, a lot of the YouTubers are more reliable. Some of them are shills and you just don't want to listen to them. Like Jimquisition, he's a fucking crazy psychedelic and makes no goddamn sense and is basically two-faced. Don't listen to him. He's an idiot. There are a couple others that do it for the money, clearly, or just do it to, get views. But there's a guy I watch called Synthetic Man. He does a pretty good job on his reviews. Other than that, there are a couple others out there that will review modern games, but I typically try to avoid modern games because they're either A, woke, or B, overpriced, or C, just bad in general. And D, they're, usually PS exclusive or Xbox or something like that, and I just couldn't give a shit about them. Usually it's A or B, though. Taking Raid Shadow Legends as a sponsor is a red flag for me. That is very fair. That is very fair and understandable, because that game is a dumpster fire. I actually was... I think I was offered to sponsor them, but I'm like, nah. I'd rather do something else than get like $500 for doing that. No thanks. No thanks. I can earn $500 in many other ways and do that. I'll disclose that. I was offered like $500 to do that. I'll disclose that. Yeah, exactly. My rep is worth more than $500. Now maybe 10K. If you offer me 10K, you bet your ass I'm going to sponsor you. No offense. Like, I will outright say this. If you're going to offer me $10,000 to sponsor your game, I'll sponsor it. As long as you give me a review copy of the game. But I feel like that's like an ultimatum everyone should give you. If I'm to sponsor your game, you need to give me a review copy. But like that's also $10,000. That's not chump change. And I only get like 10 viewers average. You're wasting your fucking money doing that. That being said, that's why I have an email in the about me for a reason. What if Ghostbusters 2016 sponsors you for 10K? No. No. Sorry. No. Politely decline. Politely decline. Oh, shit. I'm talking about games, silly, not movies. Even then, I wouldn't sponsor any movie today, regardless. Just because a lot of them are dog shit. Unless I really liked it. If I really liked it, if I liked a show or a movie, I would totally sponsor it. But, again, Amazon doesn't give a fuck about me. Disney doesn't give a fuck about me. All they see me is a giant coin purse that I can give they can get money from. And to me, I say, nah, I'd pirate. Oh, you buy Disney Plus? Nah, I'd pirate. Theflixer.se, by the way. Go use that website. Really good website, by the way. I love it. Great website. I watch a shit ton of movies on it. Here, I'll even show you what it looks like. But yeah, you literally just give me a movie. Taylor, what was the movie I suggested we watch together? Oh yeah, Chappie. Boom. Right there. Comes up. I could go play it right now. Super simple. Great site. Love it. Use an ad blocker if you use the site, but simple fucking shit. I've binged Alone on it. I've binged Jason Gets Nuked by the FBI. It's kind of technically legal because it's a internet site, but who gives a shit? But yeah, seriously, go watch this. I'm probably actually gonna go watch this with you guys after stream. So if you guys want to stick around for that, I'll be doing that. But yeah. Oh, here's that Godzilla Kong New Empire movie. Oh, here's Godzilla -1. They made a movie a year apart? Oh, come on, guys. Really? I feel like that's a bit lazy. There's a Hunger Games movie that came out? This goes to show how much of a rock I live under. Different studios? Okay. So is this one good and this one shit? I'm gonna assume that much. Toho and Legendary made them? Okay. What, is this Toho? Oh, it's a cam rip. That's unfortunate. Yeah, okay. Toho. I have a bunch of Godzilla DVDs upstairs. I know for a fact I do. -1 good. X has funny monkey. Yeah. But yeah, really good site. If you ever want to not pay for Netflix ever again, I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by that website, but like, go watch it. Don't pay for Netflix ever again. Do they actually track who goes to these sites? No. I mean, the only person that can track you on a website is your search engine, your ISP, but they only know what websites you're going to and they don't really care. And last but not least, your web browser. And if you use a good one, you don't have to worry about that. But your web browser, your ISP, and your search engine will be the only ones that know. And even then, just use DuckDuckGo to bypass the first one, and just use like Firefox to bypass the third one, and use a VPN to bypass the second one. If you browse privately, you don't have to worry about that. Or if you're just like me, you just go without a condom and you just look it up on Opera without a VPN using Xfinity ISP. But I also use DuckDuckGo, so I don't have to worry about that. But again, no one really cares, and like hell, you're gonna hurt the revenue from these massive corporations, and like hell, they're gonna care about you pirating a movie one time, maybe a couple times. They're not gonna care. They have hundreds, thousands of other people to worry about. They're not gonna care about just you. I'm just gonna be real, man. They're not gonna care. They have other fish to fry. They have the torrent seeders to worry about rather than you. Did you get what I sent you? Wait, Don, you sent me something? I shouldn't have said that out loud. If you send it to the P.O. box, I haven't checked it yet. If you send it, no, I don't think you can. No, I never give out my home address. If you probably send it to my P.O. box. Oh, Steam. Okay. No, I was very confused about you, man. I'm like, you sent me something on P.O. box? The fuck? I would like to know in advance if anybody does that, by the way. I mean, you don't have to let me know in advance. We were here forever. Oh, no. Dawn. Well, guys, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to play We Were Here Forever. Add that on top of a bunch of games. How dare you pirate movies that are 2 hours long? Mid hated it. Mid hated it. Mid. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. That's going to be another. Add that to the pile of games Don has bought me that I haven't played yet. I'm sorry, Don. I'm sorry. But Don, do you want to play that together, or is your computer not able to run it? Because we could totally play it together if you want to. Or I could play with literally anyone. I believe only you have to buy it, right? Is it only the person that bought it that has to own it? and the second person can just hot join, or do both people need to buy it? A genuine question, actually. Genuine question. Is it like Jackbox? No. So you and a teammate join up and basically duo up. So it's a two-player game. One person sees one side of a puzzle, you see another side of the puzzle, and you have to basically mash your heads together and find out how to solve it. I just thought you and Meg would like it. Oh God, but I need to teach Meg how to play chess first. Meg, if you're in chat, I'm going to force you to play chess. I'm going to force you to. It's literally my job in real life. I'm going to force you to play chess. Consider. Oh, Dawn. Oh, you're out here with the edgy jokes. God damn it. God damn it, Dawn. Oh my God. Never change, Dawn. Never change. But yeah, if anybody wants to watch Chappie tonight, I legit cried watching that movie. So, yeah, if anybody wants to watch that with me, by all means, we should do the chess. Dude, I'm fucking bad at chess. Ironically, I teach 8 to 10-year-olds chess. I can't play the game myself. I'm ass at it. I can beat the kids. I can't beat anyone my age because I'm just that bad at the game. I'm gonna just be frank. I can put up a fight. But if you're just good, I'm going to fall like a stack of cards. Those who can't do teach. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Those who can't do teach. Exactly. My brain is too TikTok fried to learn chess without Family Guy clips. Dude, oh my God. I'm so glad the kids I teach have patience. I'm so glad the kids I teach have actually some sense of patience, even though I do hear, if I had to take a shot every time I heard one of them say, "Skippity toilet," I would probably be drunk and wasted and passed out in a school. That and, if I took a shot anytime I heard, "Mr. Beast," I'd also probably be passed out drunk. Don, were you there for my cooking stream? You were there for a cooking. Oh, I need to watch this. I need to watch this cooking stream. Oh, dude, I want to see this. My man can cook. But no, the kids are actually at least tolerable to deal with, and a lot of them are really nice too. That's what I like about them though. Elementary school kids actually give a shit about you and are very kind and considerate. Once they get into middle school, they become the spawn of Satan, and I only know this because my dad literally has worked with middle schoolers for 20 years. So I only know this from really good experience, as well as literally being an adolescent 10 years ago. So I kind of know. But yeah, middle schoolers are assholes. I hate them. High schoolers, they're all right. Some of them can be pushy dicks, but the rest of them are all right. Middle schoolers, innocent, willing to learn, very, very, very empathetic, very kind, very loving. They're just great. Middle schoolers suck. High schoolers are kind of eh. Elementary schoolers, they give a shit. They're so kind. Just to make fun of Hassan for saying he can't make food during a stream. L Hassan. Average Hassan L. Average Hassan L. Dude, that guy loves collecting L's like Pokemon fans like collecting Pokemon, man. I tell you. That guy just loves collecting L's. Gee. Anyways. Does anybody have any other questions or anything else they'd like to talk about? Don't forget, we have a channel point goal that we're doing. We have 9 days left. We're almost halfway there. We're going to make it at this point. Given I was gone for 5 days, I still think we're on track to make it. And even if we aren't, I'll push it ahead a few days just in case if we don't make it. Because I know I was gone a few days, and I understand, I understand if we don't make it, so I'll push it a few days if I need to. What should I do? Die Hassan when told not to steal content while making nuggies? I ran out of points. Verified non-chew moment. But Dawn, that's not your personality though. You're supposed to stockpile everything: money, coins, channel points, money. Okay, bad joke. Bad joke's over. Don't cancel me, Dawn. Don't cancel me. Human souls. Human souls. Specifically 6 million of them. Oh. Oh my god. T-Lord, you just wrote the joke yourself. You just wrote the joke yourself. You just wrote that fucking joke yourself. Oh my god. This is what we've devolved into. This is what we've devolved into. Making Jew jokes because Don is here. And because he's edgy and also Jewish. Bless his heart. That was almost as bad as the Happy Campers. Oh god, I remember that quote. Wasn't your grandmother like an Auschwitz survivor? And you like mentioned that she wasn't a happy camper, and I just fucking floored it. Like I couldn't imagine you saying that, and you did. God, that was awful, man. That was awful. You said something like that, like my grandmother was an Auschwitz survivor. She was not a happy camper. Great grandmother. Well, still, point is, that was such a fucked up joke. It's hilarious, but also, Don, what the hell is wrong with you, man? You being Jewish wouldn't save you from getting canceled for making that joke, man. Oh god. Dude, that is on levels of fucked up. That's fucked up. Oh my god. The worst part about the Happy Camper was that it was unintentional too. Yes, but the fact you even made that joke when she was at a labor camp is just so screwed up. So screwed up. But I live for dark humor like that, so I laugh my ass off at it anyways. Oh my god. But yeah. If anybody wants to stick around for Chappie, I'll probably play that tonight. But yeah. You all take care. Unless anybody has any other questions. If anybody has any other questions or anything they want to talk about, feel free. Else I'm gonna swap over to Chappie. No JSIC box. No, not tonight. Lol. It's what? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. But yeah, thank you all for being here. If you want to stick around for Chappie, I'll be doing that off cam. And I'll see you guys there if so. Stay savage, y'all. I'll see you all soon. Bye.